need. He drives a hard bargain. He wanted 10 bucks. I had a 20. He didn't have change, and I had $7. He said, if I go over and get him a coffee, he'll sell it to me for $7. So here I am buying a coffee. So came up to the New England Dragway swap meet. It's over there past the trees. Really can't see much of it from here. But one of the things I was working on last night was I didn't have the rod from the clutch Z-bar to the brake pedal. To the clutch pedal. So I made one out of thinner metal than it's supposed to be. So found one here. The guy had it zip tied in with a bunch of shift linkages for the shifter. This is a clutch linkage, not a shift linkage. And I asked him about this one item, and he didn't want to separate it from the rest. He wanted somebody to buy 2 transmissions, and he was going to give him all the shifter stuff with both transmissions. And I was like, but this is a clutch rod. Can I just buy the clutch rod? And he really didn't want to, and I had to leverage him. He finally put a price on it at 10 bucks. Totally worth 10 bucks in my book, because this is way stronger than what I have. So settled on 10, pulled out my wallet, gave him a 20. He didn't have change. So I had $7, 20 and some hundreds. So I was like, well, I got 7 if you'll take 7. He's like, oh, I can't take 7. I know what they're worth. Then finally settled on, well, if you go buy me a coffee, I'll sell it to you for the 7. So I had to go buy him a $2 coffee. So I got it for 9 bucks. But that's a good key ingredient. This is peace of mind that the thinner one's not going to bend that I just made. And then as a bonus, I found the Batwing air filter for 10 bucks. Doesn't have the guts. The back of it's cut out to clear an HEI, but it'll give it a look. And I was looking at a distributor, and then the guy said it was sold. So just in banter, I said, wow, that's the shortest steering column I ever saw in my life. And he said 20 bucks. So I got it. Byproduct of doing what the guy wanted to do. He wanted a coffee. So I had to get him a coffee. So I got myself a donut. That's a bonus. And then met my buddy Chris here. And Chris was out in the parking lot. He had a new thing of antifreeze that was extra that he donated to the cause. So thank you, Chris. Well, there's my finds. We're gonna get to it. I gotta get back to work on this thing. Okay, back at it. So this morning I ran up to a swap meet a little north of here at the New England Dragway, just to see. Maybe somebody had rear fenders, trunk lid, anything like that. And nope, nothing. But I did get a clutch rod that I wanted for the clutch linkage. I made one last night at like 10 o'clock last night. I made one. And it's out of like 5/16 rod. It's typically about 3/8. Sometimes a little bit bigger, maybe like 7/16 rod. So I made that last night, found one today. That's explained, and I put a little video together at the swap meet of the finds that I grabbed and whatnot. So I'll put that in there. And yeah, I think right now, I think I'm gonna work on the steering column, bracing the brake and clutch pedal assembly, and kind of getting that reasonably finalized. And then I do have a friend's car show that I'm supposed to go to today. It starts at 12. So I may have to work on this a little bit, break from this, go to the car show, and then come back. So anyway, I'm gonna get to this, and after I'll clip in the swap meet finds now, and we'll check in. Apologize for the time lapse onto the dash, like I'm trying to find angles, but there's all stuff in the car and whatnot. I'll do my best. I had the camera over there, time-lapsing working on the shifter, and apparently it wasn't recording. But either way, more satisfying than watching the work. You can't tell me there's anything more satisfying than a mechanical linkage 4-speed going through the gears. Look at this. Bop, 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 bop. That's satisfying. And that's a well-adjusted shifter. That's nice. You got reverse. Beautiful. Now, the random shifter I grabbed is way too long. I'm going to want something that way up about here. But I got a few other options at my storage place, and that's where I'm going to the CARSHOW in a few minutes. So I'll grab that along with some other supplies while I'm there, and we'll be back at this afternoon. Oh boy, I'm excited. Look at this. We have a working clutch with debris on the floor under me. But yeah, working clutch. We got a gas pedal over there. I haven't hooked up the cable yet. Brake pedal is all done. Just can't push it because we'll shoot fluid everywhere. And now, the final piece of the puzzle. Oh man, I can't get enough of the 4-speed. I know. Enough with the 4-speed. But I'm excited. Banging through the gears, dumping the clutch. This is going to be satisfying. If I make it, this is going to be exciting. So, alright, I'm going to go waste a couple hours to show face with some good friends, see some old neighbors, and I'll get back to it. I'm over at my buddy's CARSHOW, and I use this torch to see if I can bend this. So, to maximize what we get done every minute of the day with this stuff. Well, all done with the CARSHOW, all done with my shopping. Use Joe's torch to put a bend in this. I think it's exactly what I need. And supplies. Got a couple extra shift levers of different sizes. A couple exhaust hangers if I want to mount them, fuel line, course thread screws for random stuff in the dash, rivets, 3/8 fuel line to make a few things with, battery hold down, power steering fluid, earmuffs just in case, overflow tank, extra set of regular plugs just in case, spool of 16/4 wires. Yep. There's 4 wires in there, and then whole bin of all spools of wires and loom and all that, and yeah, so that's it. I'm hitting the road. I gotta get to work. It's almost midnight, and I'm calling it. It's been a reasonably chaotic day. Swap meet this morning, some work on this, CARSHOW at my buddy's place where my storage is, and rummage in storage, grab a bunch of stuff, and yeah, got some work done. Not a lot of it was like, you know, I time-lapsed some of doing some of the brakes on one side, but like I cleaned the front rotors, cleaned the bearings, repacked them, cleaned everything down with calipers, lubed them, did new brake lines in the front and stuff like that. And it was just, it's not exciting, and there's no good angle to do it and stuff, so I didn't record it all. I did a little bit, and then I said, screw it. So this is where we landed. So cleaned down the rotors. Got the dust caps were missing, that's why I pulled apart the bearings, cleaned and greased everything. Got all new brake lines in. Got a little heat shield where it's going near the header, and did that on both sides, and brake line down and across. This was a swap meet find. That's all fitted on there. Everything. I think I did a little time lapse of that. I had to add some foam to space the air cleaner up, but it's basically the base of one of the air cleaners that I had here. Fit right around the base of this. Locked that thing in solid. And the air filter was like a little bit short, so I put some foam around the bottom, around the top, and that squished that in. And somebody had already notched it out around the distributor, so it was 10 bucks. Can't go wrong. So got some new brake lines, and this, Colby was out here, and this was a bracket that was over here for the clutch slave cylinder reservoir on the Camaro. And I was like, I'm just going to cut that off. He's like, I think the line lock's going to fit, but we used the same bolts and everything. And I was able to bolt it together, so I just bent that over and down, and I'll be able to have my inlet line, and I'll put an outlet line out this side, plug the rest of these, and that'll be our line lock for extra fun burnouts. Gotta have that. If you know me, you gotta have that. What else? Yeah, so finalized the brake booster, master, steering shaft, all that's in. Once I finalized the mounts on the steering, I did have to dimple that header tube just a little bit. It was just, everything was just a little too tight. And then inside, I just rough mounted a seat. Got all the shifter linkage and all that in. That's my temporary shift handle. I'll probably make it shorter. Indy H, so I'm guessing that's a Hurst Indy shifter. And the clutch I welded in a bracket over here. Let's see, can we get some light up there? There we go. Yeah, so I welded in a bracket to the side, and I welded a bracket up to there, and bolted it to here, so this is still removable. And that firmed that all up. Got the dash all bolted back in where it's supposed to be, and my cowl induction interior cooler is hooked up. Made a bracket for the bottom of the steering column, welded that on, threaded that in, and clutch rod that I had made in here yesterday. I actually found the fatter one, the thicker one that I like, so I ended up modifying that just a little bit at my buddy's shop, gave that a little bend. I think I did a little checkup on that, and that's in. So now clutch works, and it works a little bit easier than it did. And brake, gas, I still got to do the proper screws in the gas pedal and the cable, but steering column rock solid, shifter very satisfying. So that's awesome, that's in. So with that, I'm gonna call it. And this is Sunday night, midnight. I still have to do the rear end, drive shaft, rear brakes, any and all wiring, gauges, some sort of ignition, and a lot of rust work. And I still don't have a trunk lid. So tomorrow morning, I think I'm gonna beeline out to my favorite junkyard that has the old cars, and I'll try and do a little video in there. You guys probably like that place. It's awesome. Stuff all the way back to the 20s. Hopefully I can grab a trunk lid there and a couple other pieces. Hoping that stuff's still there. I haven't been out there in almost 2 years. So wish me luck with that. But hopefully I'll get out there early enough and then get back and get more work done on this. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get the front down on the ground, get it spun around, and be working on the rear end. Because clock is ticking. Like I said, it's Sunday night at midnight, and this event starts Friday afternoon. I can show up Saturday, so I have a little bit of leeway, but it's not a lot. So anyway, thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all the comments, likes, and all the new subscribers and all that stuff. Pretty awesome how many people are following along with this, so thank you all very much.